This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another exciting Satisfactory tips video. I got some amazing tips for you today, so let's get to it. Your first set of tips here has to do with belts. So if you're in the middle of a belt, you'll notice that it shoves you in whatever direction it's going. However, this can be a bit of a pain in the butt when you want to run backwards against the higher level belts, because as you can see here, it doesn't do any good. It still pushes you, and then you have to jump, and it gets a little annoying. However, if you clip right on the side, so if you just get like right here and you jump, you can run along it. You don't get pushed when you're on the side. It's only when you're in the middle of the belt. So you can see there, when I'm on the side, I'm fine. Move over a little bit, get shoved. Next up is the splitters and mergers. You can place those directly on a belt that's already been placed, so that's one tip. However, when you are down along the side of it like we are here, it doesn't want to do it. And you'll know when it's doing it because it will go in the direction of the belt. So you can see now it looks like it's clipping, but actually what it's doing is it's just snapping to the snap points on the foundations. It's not actually clipping to the belt. However, it will. You just got to get up high. It makes it a lot easier to do this kind of stuff when you're up high. See there? It just turned in the direction of the belt. Watch. It turned. Now it's running along the belt and the full length of the belt. You can see it makes that change. That's when you know. That's how you know that it's actually snapped there and not snapped to one of the snap points, is it will make that change like that. And then you can just place it. And then you can merge off of a belt that's already been placed. The next tip is one you just saw me do there a second ago, and that is the conveyor pole stackers will allow you to use them as a ladder. You can see here, they have a ladder going up the side. So you can use those to get up high when you need to get to, to do stuff like I just showed you there in the previous tip, or you can use them to get the locations that you can't normally get to. So early game, before you have the jetpack, any of that stuff, or the blade runners, you may not be able to get to a high up location. You can just build those along the side of the mountain and then just use it as a ladder. Bam, look at that. How great is that? This next tip is all about inventory management. So I'm sure many of you know you can hold down shift and click over an item like that. Well, in some situations it gets a little annoying when like you're dealing with a truck. You can't really just shift click, because anything you shift click tries to go into, anything that is fuel tries to go in the fuel tank, and that can be a little bit annoying, and you don't want that. So if you want to transfer those over, you end up having to drag them over one by one like so. If you want to transfer all of an item that you have in your inventory over to another inventory, all you have to do is hold down control before you drop that item. And as you can see, it pulls all of that same kind of item out of that inventory into the other inventory like so. You can also hold down control while you're dragging to the trash can and delete all of an item. I've split a couple of the plates here. So if I drag this over and I hold down control and I release on the trash can, you can see it deletes all of that item out of my inventory. So many of you know that there is the color gun that will allow you to change the color of your buildings, but what you may not know is that the first palette right here is your default palette. So all you have to do to change the color is right click, and that gives you this option for different palettes. Now this first one here, like I said, is your default. So if you edit this edits all buildings by default. So we can just do some random color here. Let's just do something bright. Let's see here, something like that, and then we'll do the other color, just something completely obnoxious. Okay, so now if I click update, click confirm, it warns you that it's going to update all buildings of that color. There you go, it updates all your entire base gets updated to that, because that is the default palette selection here. The one thing I did notice though is placing down new buildings, sometimes they don't update to the proper color. So if I place down this new building here, you can see that it's partially the new color, but then the other one doesn't look like it updated, but you can fix that pretty easy. Just go back into your palette, make a slight change. So we'll just make a slight change there, click update, and that should, there it goes. You can see it updated. Now, if I wanted that back to the original color I had it, just darken that back up a little bit, and you can see your numbers over here, and you can put in specific numbers. We will just click OK, and then there you go. Now it's been updated. The next tip comes in the way of to-do lists. These lists are extremely helpful to you in the game. Make use of them. So first off, you're planning out your base. You know you're going to need, let's say, 4 smelters. So if you highlight over it, you see this little plus here. click that little plus. We're going to add 4 of them. You can also add and subtract them over here. So we're going to need 4 of those. It shows you how much you need and how much you have. So this is how much you need right here, the 20. And the other number over here, the 124, this is how much I have in my inventory. So you can see right now, I don't have any wire in my inventory. So it's telling me that I need wire. I think I have some over here. So if I just split this a couple times here, so I can show you, if I drag over just a little bit, you can see it starts to fill up. And then once I get the rest of it in my inventory, it checks it off to show you that you have enough of that item to craft the 4 smelters. Once you've done that and you've crafted them, all you have to do is hit Q again, and then you can click clear list and clear your list off. Now it also comes in super handy when you're doing your milestones and you're crafting stuff by hand, because sometimes it's quicker just to craft stuff by hand and you may need to know how much of that item you need. So if we come over here and we scroll down, you can see that I need a bunch of the supercomputers. So if I right mouse button and click add to to-do list, you can see that it shows me how many of all of those items that I need. But I need 20 of them. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come over here and we're going to click add to to-do list until we get 20 of them. And now it shows me that I'm going to need 40 computers, 40 of the AI limiters, 60 of the high-speed connectors, and 420 plastic. So all I have to do now is go gather up that many of each of the resources, and then I can come over here and I can craft them. Makes it super easy so you don't have to be making tons and tons and tons of trips. Then once again, if you want to clear this off, all you have to do is click clear. If you want to add more or subtract more, you don't want to do it from this menu, you can actually back out of your crafting bench and then you can just hit Q, and that allows you to modify your to-do list there. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like me that like super efficient and tightly compact factories. And in order to do that, you're gonna have to do some stacking. So as you can see here, I have stacked conveyor splitters. Normally you cannot do that. If I place one here and then I try to place another one, you can see it doesn't snap over top of it. There's a few different ways you can do this. I'm gonna show you here. So we're going to just delete that and we're going to delete that. So the first way you can do this is you can place a foundation over top. Then you can place the conveyor on top of that foundation, delete the foundation underneath of it, and then place your other conveyor splitter underneath that one. And there you go. Now, one downside to doing this, and no matter which way you do it, if you do it the way I just showed you now or the way I'm about to show you, is that when you are adding the conveyors to the top, you can see here that it tells you that it's encroaching the clearance. You're going to get that because of the one here at the bottom. So before you add your one at the bottom, you're going to need to place all of your belts across the top and then add the one to the bottom. Okay, so let me show you the other way to do this. So the other way to do this is you can just place this like that and then grab another one, and we're going to grab our other pole and we're going to place it like that. Now we're just going to run some belt across there. So doing it this way allows you to already have the belt across the top so you don't run into the encroaching problem. Now you need to get up high in order to get it to snap. So if we take a look here, oh, actually, nope, it snapped. Okay, so if it doesn't snap, you need to get up above it. If it does, then you're good to go. So we're just going to place it. And once again, I know it's snapping because you can see that it flips around. Now what we can do is we can delete these. And now if I want belts coming out from the other side, what I can do is just place a pole like this. Now you may not need them immediately, but I highly suggest doing this now. This gets you past your encroaching problem. Just place a little belt out like that. Just a little belt sticking out. You can even get a little closer. You don't need a lot of belt. There we go. So just a little belt sticking out like that. That's all you need in order to stop the encroaching problem. And now we can place our one on the bottom here. That should be lined up. Yep, they're lined up perfectly. And now I can take my belt out from the bottom, put it wherever I want, and the one at the top will now snap, and we don't get the encroaching problem because we've already bypassed that. So you can use the foundation to stack a lot of things. If we come over here, we're just going to just place some foundation right here, and we'll grab some personal storage, and we can take our personal storage and we can place a couple of them around the top here. like that. And then what we can do is we can just delete this, and now we can grab some more personal storage and we can line them up, and you can get like a cool little, I don't even know, like storage area or whatever. You get the idea. You can use it to stack, and you can do a bunch of different things with that. This game is drastically missing signs, and things can get a little confusing, and you may not know what is in your storage containers unless you have something going on like I do over here where there's a constant flow of items. Quick tip to get around that is just place a little belt right there at the tip. So all we have to do, we can just grab our conveyor pole like so, grab a little bit of belt like that, delete that, just let that little bit stick out there, and then you know what your item's going to be, and you can even come up and grab it. Which is that little bit there sticking out. Doesn't really get in the way, and you can even get it a little bit closer. So if you take a look there, I got it even closer. So you just got those two little items sticking out there at the end. And that allows me to quickly look at this and know that that is the encased beams. All right, and that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like the comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.